Hi, this is Melanie for the Pardesi channel. I just came from watching the Telugu romantic comedy Nannu Dochukunduvate. So this romantic comedy, which means Thief of Hearts, is the first film from Sudheer Babu's own production house. And he's done a good job of picking a plot and picking a script that is really good for his acting skills and his persona. I've only seen him in one other film, and that was Samahanam, which he did with Aditya Rao Hidari. That was sort of a Notting Hill takeoff, kind of riff on Notting Hill, kind of romantic comedy. And I really enjoyed that one, but Aditi was really the star of that film. She was absolutely luminous. This film is about this guy he's a workaholic. He's in the software industry, and his goal is to work so hard to get a promotion to be able to go to the U.S. His father's played by Nasser, and when he goes home for a funeral, an uncle approaches him with a wedding proposal to his cousin. And to kind of get out of that situation and save his cousin who wants to marry somebody else, he has an employee hire an actress to play his girlfriend, who he names Siri, because that's the only girl that he's been talking to, Siri on his iPhone. So that was pretty funny. So he hires this actress when his father is coming to visit to meet the girlfriend. Of course, I love the whole trope of fake relationships. The fake fiance, the fake boyfriend that then becomes real. I love that trope. This one had some interesting twists, especially at the end. Things that happened that I didn't necessarily see coming. The setup was really cute, with Sudheer just being so serious. And then kind of the actress Nabha Natesh plays the love interest. So she is an actress named Meghna, and sometimes Siri, who does short films. So evidently this is a thing. I wasn't sure if they meant web series or what, because it seemed like people were actual film crews. But it was funny because she definitely was counting the number of views on YouTube or something similar, and how many Instagram followers and so forth. So there was a lot of jokes about this whole short film phenomenon. Evidently there was some other actresses or personalities that are known for doing web series in Telugu or something that were, I don't know, but I didn't recognize them. I recognized some of the other character actors. That was kind of her little shtick, is that she was half-heartedly going to college, but her dream was to be this actress in all of these little web series or short films. They have this fake relationship, and of course, he falls in love, she falls in love, but they don't admit it to each other. Things happen, right? Just one thing after another happens, twist after twist. However, the middle section lagged a little bit. I really liked the setup at the beginning, and I really liked the way things ended. Was very cute. There was a couple of scenes at the end, one which was very moving, and the final scene, the final climax scene, was very amusing and just fit with the whole theme of what Meghna was all about. She, of course, had charmed the entire family. And does he, go to that evil place of America? Somebody actually says in the thing, why would you want to go there? Trump and the people don't treat you well. I was like, oh. But it was an average, enjoyable, time pass romantic comedy. This is a debut director, R.S. Naidu, who also wrote the script. The music was not particularly memorable. The dance numbers and so forth were good enough, but nothing really knocked my socks off or was so extraordinary. There was a very nice number when they were visiting the rural area where Nasser, Sudheer's father in the movie, lives, and they kind of passed a sort of was almost like a gypsy camp or something. And so they got into much more colorful costumes as she imagined them dancing with, all of these people. I enjoyed that number maybe the most. Oh, nothing that I'm going to seek out on Savan, nothing stood out in the soundtrack for me. I think Sudheer has done a good job in picking a part that was good for him. And I have to admire him because there's a scene where like an actor drops out and he has to act in one of Meghna's little short films and do this sort of declaration of love speech. And Sudhir is kind of making fun of himself because he's acting it completely woodenly, like he can't get the lines out, can't remember the lines. And then, somebody says act with his eyes and he just like makes his eyes really wide. And so he must have had fun, kind of all the critiques of maybe past films and his beginning of his career of people saying how he didn't act well. So that was a very funny scene. And then I really laughed. There was a scene where, of course, Nannu, the father, says, "How did you meet?" And Meghna's story of how they met was thinking up the meet cute from one of Mahesh Babu's films of him seeing the girl making the design, and he keeps driving around the block as she's doing the design on the sidewalk, and he keeps driving around. And so they had the footage from the actual scene from that movie because, of course, Sudheer is Mahesh Babu's brother-in-law. So that scene, when I heard her describing it before they showed the footage, I was really laughing out loud because I'm like, oh my gosh. So that was funny. I love it when I'm in on the joke. You know what I mean? That I've watched enough films that I'm in on the reference to other films within a movie. That makes me feel good. It was an average, enjoyable film. The subtitles were very good. Unusually, they were in yellow. Thank God. That's one thing that is really hard is most of the time they're in white and they don't even have a border. So if you have a very bright background or some people in the scene are wearing white clothing, it's extremely difficult to read the subtitles. And this time they were in yellow. Oh, thank God. And all the songs had subtitles too, which was really good. It was enjoyable, but an average film. So let me know what you thought if you had a chance to see it in theaters. Please leave a comment below. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Subscribe here to the Pardesi channel. And please like and share this video.